Hello, this is Daniel from Spec5, and I am here today introducing to you the Spec5 Trace. So the Trace was designed to utilize the open source mesh protocol called Meshtastic for specific GPS tracking capabilities. The Trace comes as a single unit or in a bundle paired with our Bravo tracker. And I'll explain why you need that in a bit. The Trace is our first waterproof design. Our standard PETG 3D printed plastic, full housing, and it comes with a changeable mounting bracket on the back of the device here. And this current mounting bracket is set up for a dog collar, as well as a MOLLE strap to strap it onto a person for GPS tracking and location. So digging more into the Trace. To use the Trace, you will open it, loosening the two thumb screws and rotating them out of the way to open the housing, exposing the board inside. To turn on the Trace, there are two buttons here. We have a reset button and a user button. Quickly pressing the reset button, the LEDs will flash quick, and then it will begin its boot up sequence. So that bright green light means that it is booting up, and it'll actually do the same sequence when it's booting down. These fast flashes mean that your Trace is operating normally. To charge your Trace, you will use the USB-C port and just standard 5-volt USB-C power. The orange LED will illuminate when the device is charging the battery, and the LED will turn off when the battery is fully charged. Now, one thing to note is that even if your Trace is off, when you plug in 5-volt USB-C power, the Trace will turn on automatically. So when you're done charging, if you're not ready to use your Trace at that time, you will want to turn it off. To do so, you will press and hold the user button for about 6 seconds. The green LED will continue to flash while you're holding the user button down. And when I release the user button, it will stop flashing. It will turn on really bright, meaning that it's booting down the board. And then the green LED completely turns off and no longer flashes. So inside the case here, you have an NRF52 based LoRa radio board running Meshtastic, a ceramic GPS antenna, and a 1200 milliamp hour battery, all inside the case. To close the Trace, just fold the cover back down. The spring hinge on the back is designed to actually pull the cover down evenly. So you will have to force the Trace closed to then flip the thumb screws back into position and tighten those back down snug. So with the Trace being on and the cover closed, the Trace is ready to be used. The Spec5 Trace will come as a single unit, as you see here, as well as in a bundle with one of our Tracker Bravos. That is because the Trace will be the device that you would either attach to your dog or attach to the team member that you're looking to track. And then the Tracker Bravo will be your companion device linked to either your phone or tablet for use of the Meshtastic app and its mapping capability. The Spec5 Trace comes pre-configured from Spec5 with some standard configuration settings for this device to optimize it for GPS tracking. Now, there are a few kind of user configurations that most people will want to edit for themselves for ease of use and also depending on their use case, and that's what we're going to go over now. So to set up your trace, you will turn it on by first loosening up the thumb screws to open the housing, press the reset button, and the trace will boot up. And again, the bright green light is the device booting up, and we will wait for it to start flashing regularly. So now we can Bluetooth pair our trace to a mobile device. Here we have the Android Meshtastic app on a tablet. We'll press on the gear icon over here on the right. We will add a radio, and all of our Spec5 radio, all these Spec5 traces will be pre-labeled. You see S5TC for trace, and then it will ask for a pairing code. We have pre-configured all of these to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is something that you can change in the future. You saw the green light get bright, and we are now connecting to the device on the app. So the region comes preset to US for use in the United States on the 915 megahertz spectrum. We also pre-name the device S5 Trace. Changing the name is likely the first thing that you're going to want to do, whether it's specific to, you want to change it specific to your dog, like your dog's name. If you're using this to track a teammate, you might change it specific to that person's name or call sign. And to do that, from the Android app, we will go into radio configuration, and we will go to user. And under the user tab, we have a long name and a short name. So the long name can be up to, I think it's 32 or 36 characters long, and the short name, you are maxed out at 4 or 5 characters. So right now we have it as S5 Trace and S5TC, and you can go and name that whatever you want. So for the sake of the video, we are going to edit its name to Spec5, and you see the app will automatically create a short name for you based on the long name, but you can still go and edit that SC51, and you'll click send. The board will reboot, and it'll take a second for the board to reconnect to the app. Delivery confirmed, and we will go back to the user configurations. And if we go back to the main channel, now we see that the name is updated. Oh, and now the board is rebooting to reset its name, and it will reconnect to the app shortly. Reconnecting as we speak. Okay, so the next piece of configuration that a user will likely want to do is the channel. So currently, all Spec5 devices come pre-programmed to communicate and share their GPS location on the public Meshtastic channel called LongFast. Now this will work great in a scenario where everyone in the area who has a Meshtastic device you want to share the GPS location of your trace with. That's open, it's public, anyone can come into the mesh with a Meshtastic device set to LongFast, and they will be able to see the location of your device. Now, if you do not want to do that, you can create a private channel and then share this private channel with the specific devices, whether it's just your one Bravo tracker or any of the other devices on your team, to receive the GPS location of your trace. So to do that, we're again going to go into radio configuration, and we're going to go to channels. And you see we have long fast set as our channel 0, which is the primary channel of the device. Now you can still have long fast configured on the trace. However, the trace can only share its GPS location on its primary channel. So for this little explanation, I'm going to remove the primary channel and create a new channel. So the Meshtastic app will autofill long fast, which again is the public channel. So all you have to do is go and create a new name. So we'll do Spec5 Trace as our channel. And you see it auto-generates a code. And you can update it and it'll randomly generate that code again. This code is going to be very important because this is what we're going to share with other devices to join that private channel. Now, another key configuration setting is to enable position sharing as well as the precise location. With the precise location setting turned off, the device will not share its precise location. It will share a bubble of where it could be, and that could be 1/4 to a 1/2 mile radius. So if you're really wanting to know where your trace is, down to about 20 feet, you're going to want to have precise location turned on. When you click save, then you now need to click send, and it is sending that channel to the device, and the device will accept that channel. So now you are done configuring your trace with a private channel. Now what I would recommend doing is copying this full privacy link so that when we connect the next device, you can paste it and connect to this channel that we created. And click cancel because we did not make any changes. So now we will back out. On the Android app, you can click none, and it will disconnect the mobile device from the Spec5 Trace. The Spec5 Trace is still on. We're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to grab our Bravo tracker. So again, our Bravo tracker comes pre-configured to communicate on the long fast channel, but we will now want to add that Spec Trace channel so that we can, when connected to this device, we can see the location of the trace. So again, to do that, we will press the add button, and we will see S5TB for S5 Tracker Bravo. Now, since the Tracker Bravo has a screen, it will show you a random Bluetooth pairing code. You'll input that and connect with your Tracker Bravo. So again, if you want to rename your Tracker Bravo, you'll go to Radio Configuration, User, and you will be able to update the name of the Tracker Bravo. We will go to Channel, and we will add that channel. So we will come into the PSK, paste that channel, and it was called Spec Trace. And we will click save. So once you have the private channel sent to the Bravo tracker, you're going to want to remove long fast as this device's primary channel. But you can just simply add long fast back as a secondary channel. So again, primary channel, channel 0, secondary channel, channel 1, and click send. So now you'll see on the device, it will show that its channel is now Spec Trace instead of long fast. And if we go into the messaging tab, we can send a message from our Bravo checker to the trace. Now we don't have a screen, we don't have another device hooked up to the trace, but we will still know that the trace is communicating on the Meshtastic network because it will receive the message. So this cloud will go from no check to a check. And that means that another device in your mesh, which right now is only this Bravo and only this trace, has received that message. So that's how we know that these two devices are communicating with each other. Another way is to, on the nodes list, you will see we changed it to Spec5, SC51, and we can now see that node in our nodes list. So right now we are inside, so both of these devices do not have a GPS location. So we will need to bring the trace outside so it can get a GPS location, and then we'll be able to see that on the nodes list here. So I just took the Bravo tracker and the trace outside, did a lap around our shop here with the trace in my hand. And what's cool is that we can both see the location from the map. So the S5TB is the tracker Bravo, and then the SC51 is our trace. So the trace will update its GPS location every 30 seconds, where the tracker Bravo's standard configuration settings is, I think it's 15 minutes, and because it hasn't moved, it's saying it's still there. And then here in the nodes list, if we click on the icon for our trace, which is called Spec5, and we go to more details, we're going to get some more options. We're going to see what the device is, when it was last heard, which was now, which is good. You'll be able to see a position log, which is updating, and you can see the timestamps of every time it updates its position. Lat long, the number of sats, altitude, speed, and heading. And then the best part is the nodes map. When you zoom in, you can see all of those points plotted in that history. So it gives you two options. You get to see just the current position from the normal nodes map, and then by selecting the trace specifically, you will be able to see all of the points that it's been in. And right now it's right there in the middle, so it's hard to tell exactly where it is in the moment, but that's where it's been. So that is how you will use the Android app to track the location of your trace. So the Meshtastic app for iOS devices is a little bit different than the Android app. Here we have an iPad. Your menu options are at the top. I believe on the iPhone they are at the bottom. You will go to Bluetooth and look for devices. So these are all the available radios. We've got quite a few radios online around here. So SC51 is this trace. Again, pairing code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. now connected and subscribed to that radio. So by going over to settings, we can adjust the same settings like we did on the Android app. So to change the name, you go to the user and you have the option to change the long and the short name. And then on channels, the channels work a little bit different on the iOS app. You cannot delete the primary channel, but you can edit it. So instead of, like we did on the Android, deleting the primary channel and creating a new channel, this one, your primary channel from the factory will show up as long fast, and you will go and edit that channel, creating its own name, creating a key, and then establishing that you want to share position and share precise position. And again, you can copy and paste that key to share it with multiple devices. So now we're going to go and connect to our Tracker Bravo. So to connect the iPad to the Tracker Bravo, again, the iOS app works a little bit differently. So we're actually going to have to go into the Bluetooth settings of the device to disconnect and forget the trace. So now when we go back to the Meshtastic app, we'll be able to select the Tracker Bravo. Again, the Tracker Bravo will display its Bluetooth pairing code on the screen, 223070. So from the nodes list, we can select the trace, which we named Spec5, access its data, all of its information, and then look at the nodes map, which is over here. So we'll click the full screen on the map, and it'll trace all of the GPS locations of your trace that it's seen while it's been connected to the Tracker Bravo. And same, again, this is just currently looking at the single node. If you've got other nodes in your mesh, multiple nodes, by going to mesh map, you will see all the nodes. Right now, we only have the Tracker Bravo and this trace that we named Spec5, and those are showing up on the map there. So that is how you will use the iOS app to use and track your trace. So a few last things on the Spec5 Trace. It, again, updates its GPS location every 30 seconds. You should expect 8 to 10 hours of battery life in use, and that is mainly when the device actually has GPS reception. When it does not have GPS reception, meaning it's inside of a building, you'll actually get a little bit better battery life. In kind of standby mode, you might get up to 24 hours of battery life, but again, it's not actively updating its GPS location. The GPS accuracy of your trace is going to be about 20 to 40 feet. And the mesh connection between your trace and another mesh radio, like the Bravo tracker, will be 1 to 3 miles. Now, adding more traces or more Bravo trackers into your mesh where you're operating will increase the stability of the mesh and allow your trace to go further away and get greater reception, because the device will update its location and that data will hop across the mesh, up to 3 hops, standard configuration setting in Meshtastic. So that is the Spec5 Trace. Thank you for watching, and if you have Any questions, please feel free to check out our website, www.spec5.com. We have a contact us as well as a forum for our customers to communicate. And we are on there as well, answering questions and responding to our customers. So thank you. Have a great day.